I didn't actually, I did not actually do my daily drawings as daily as I wanted them to be. Let's scoot closer. So, I wish I had written down the exact idea for this one, but we'll start with, naturally the head. Whoa, hello to you, Teenyin. You got a new profile picture, bringing it up. Hello, Kai. How's life, the universe, and everything? I should stop asking general questions, probably. I should. Hope you're doing all right though. In this irregular sort of a week, there's a YouTube subject appearing in an irregular sort of fashion. Hey, I'm irregular. I'm irregular. It okay. Wait, is the audio literally quiet? I I don't have microphone or nothing. I just have whatever they put on phones to make all phone calls still sound really objectively bad. I made a voice answering super classic, super retro the other day, and I was amazed that the technology hasn't gotten any better since the 90s. You're I'm just it's just it's just because my mother was an ASMR that this is turning out ASMR. For real? For real? All this time, if I had been doing something like on my phone versus just on the laptop, it would have turned out like not super quiet. It would have like automatically adjusted. Well, this is killing me. Every day I learn some more. All right, so I'm going for a sort of exaggerated style in a self-portrait, finding the best style to convey when someone is really tired, and I'm really curious how much of that is going to be visible. Hello to you, Soup Dumpling. How's it is, in fact, an irregular stream. I've titled this thing the Irregular Stream. It's probably going to be shorter as well. What's happened is that I've traveled out of town, actually. Traveled out of town. I didn't know that was going to happen. But my mom keeps finding deals. There's Kai saying also, yes, it's me. I've made it to episode 500 of the One Piece. Okay, you didn't say the One Piece. I put the in front of the One Piece, and it's just One Piece. It's called One Piece. Okay, yes, that means my favorite character's death is near. I'm suffering. Hotel stream happening indeed. You're saying you're supposed to whisper. That's how ASMR works. Any ASMR that's happening from me has been completely coincidental all this time. Alright, drawing some tired sort of eyes to figure out what a self-portrait is like. And for some reason, if I'm going full character design, I like wearing my hair up a lot. Okay, well that's not the clearest visual, but if I'm going full character design, I'll keep it down. And God, I totally thought that I was about to have a clearer train of thought because I'm in a different location. So therefore it makes sense. So therefore, oh, episode 500. Yeah. If you're at episode 500 of One Piece, the sentence itself, okay, I'm sure you're doing fine except for the impending suffering, but I'm also sure that in some cultures that should be considered a health risk. Going all in on the anime, not that I can speak to that because I keep putting 16 hours on the stupid mobile games. You're saying the camera doesn't help your forehead. I am also at the most extreme forehead angle. Okay, I should do this more often. It allows for some dynamism, and also, I'm laying down. Okay, so we get the hair all together, and that's something. Okay, what's some good characters with the absolute tiredest, most done with life sort of design? Okay, put some eye bags on there before we even draw the pupils, so we can capture all the vibes and what's happening. Now let's say it out. They're saying, yes, I'm pretty sure after this we get changed. Kai. That's perfect. That's excellent. My God. changed changed for the better or the more grievous. Okay, if I'm doing a very small drawing today, then technically I do believe I can finish this in a time unprecedented. This like I saying I mean, I said what I said. There's just some there's just some irregularity up in here. Yeah, I'm out of town, so I got none of my regular setup or regular things to rely on. How's it going, silly guy? I it like a fool, I have not seen any more of win or lose except still more of it in the YouTube shorts, where I guess this is where this stream is now located, in a YouTube shorts. I don't know. I've come across some that go like this. Okay, a little bit like I think I'm starting to see parts of the umpire's entire story specifically, which, I mean, there's other episodes, but shorts, I don't know, I feel like I'm being divined. I feel like I'm being randomly selected. I feel like it's going through fate to reach me, which is dumb because I did get my login for Disney Plus. They're they're doing it with ads. They're doing it with ads, and I can't believe the cable is back. But okay, anyway, okay. I am having a little bit more of this art style, and I think I want to. I think that I love character design where the chest seems straight up caved in or something. It's tough to it's tough to convey what I'm talking about before it's made. And I'm using one of these pencils without an eraser, so I need a separate one. Okay, and I don't know, the real slouchy sort of look. I've only drawn it on streams a couple of times, but let's see if I am capable of that. I miss a thing in the chat. Wow, how convenient. There's feel like you're watching a kindergartner try to draw after asking if they can show me their favorite character. This is that sort of angle, I will say. I will completely say. There's guy saying, you all know when I hit the episode of death, there will be some. Perfect, excellent. There's saying, Frank, yes, good on shorts, they're confusing, which will make you want to watch so you can understand. You know what? Better download some for the drive I'm about to be on today. Better download some. You can't on the ad version. You can't on the ad version. You can't on the ad version. Okay, there's saying I feel like I'm watching someone getting a massage and drawing. If only. Honestly, I trying this just one time is making me consider, should I just do this? Should I just do this because I have scoliosis, and so I should take care of self? I don't know if taking care of yourself for scoliosis is equivalent to laying down all the time, but it feels like it. It does feel like it though. There's Nerdburp appearing to say cheese, to say room service, to say to say praying for you. I'll need to see Kyle also Punk Clay came back and I remembered you. Oh, I but I okay, I'm probably never going to find it out myself, but I feel like I'm going to figure out from your messages what it's like to experience One Piece, what it's like to root for the characters. You're saying to call, you're saying to call room service. I the room service in this place is actually crazy. It is actually crazy. Nerdburp declaring that you have ADHD. Oh, you get some diagnoses recently. You get some diagnoses. That's not how it's pronounced. There's guys. I guess I'll share my One Piece experience. All right, so next things I'm going for over here. The rest of this. The rest of this, going for something really stylized. I'm not sure how accurate I want it to be. Do I do the little loose flip in the hair? There's a silly guy with the goodbye, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, silly guy. Good to see you. There's cussing. Now there's a skeleton musician, a part of the crew, which means I'm only one crewmate away from being caught up. Now that's honestly, you could probably, okay, I need to find the, okay, I've had this thought that can have several entry points into becoming a real sentence, which I doesn't give any clues on how my thoughts are formed. But okay, having a storyline memorized based on when the characters appear is a really good memorization technique, and you could technically probably use that for anything. Instead of hips for this portrait, let's have right angles. Let's have right angles. Let's just insert that in there. All right, so what can I do to increase the appearance of tiredness in this drawing? A little bit of this. And, okay, I want to, I gotta look at black and white art styles so I can see how they shade the hair. That's probably gonna be manga artistry. That's probably gonna be, there's probably gonna be several layers all at once. I had some other thought that's gonna bug me, and if I don't say it before I'm gone out of here, even if it's a very tiny drawing sort of a stream, even if it's the smallest drawing sort of, oh god, even if it's that. My first in-person class ended, and one of the people that I was writing papers and PowerPoint presentations for, because it's a group class. What the hell was I looking up? Manga art style. But also more specific things. Okay. One of the people is like this retired boxer lady, and I didn't know that she was actually serious about like the full boxing career until just in like one of the emails after I wrote this paper on on Coca-Cola versus Pepsi business plan. She does the group feedback at the end thing and says, "Yeah, I was sponsored by Pepsi, but I prefer Coca-Cola." And I'm, what, ma'am? What? I, man, that's funny as heck. I wasn't, I didn't find a good time to bring it up, but after she sent that email, I looked her up, and her Wikipedia page doesn't have a photo, so I could have walked up to her and been like, do you want to take a photo for the free encyclopedia? But I don't know if that's weird if you like establish a report before that. There's Ollie Sellin appearing to say, hello, you're not drawing this live stream. I did pause to straight up chat. I'm looking for manga art style to show me how to shade the hair. Yeah, that's a good one. But hello to you. Hello to you. Getting some physical arts. This one should be a lot faster. This one should be a lot faster than other drawings that I have done. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're feeling alright. There's city saying a search of curiosity over 11,000 episodes. Wait, did I? No, I've dyslexia to that. 1,100 episodes. At that time, you're legally allowed to call the characters part of your family. So that's what's happening in One Piece. Dear God. They're saying. What do you say they're not drawing? Log in the post-it note. It's the new version of Magma. And not even Magma. Alright, so here's just following my heart with the stylization. A lot of right angles in this one. It's a self-portrait, and I think I want to give myself an awesome staff, and I happen to be holding a pencil at this time, so let's put that together. I have a massive pencil it is a magic wand. You think that the magic will be themed around the pencil, but that's not what's going on. Saying I told you you would never forget about that insignificant mistake. Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. I, I should act just because I have no other counterattacks. I should act as if I am forgetting it, actually. I should act as if it's, it's totally out of there. There's guys saying they are literally my family, and my husband is currently on death row. I feel like I'll bow figure after I hit a certain point because this is an achievement. I I never thought of watching episodes of anime, all the shows, all the stuff like that. You could get yourself real life achievements for it. You can just choose to do this. One little bit of merch every season, that could potentially be a lot depending on how long a One Piece season is. I don't actually know that part. Alright, so and yeah, okay, so my first in-person class ended, and that's the one sort of thing on my mind. Endings. Also, I don't know, whenever there's time that's like not spent under a college deadline nowadays, while I'm messing up this arm, whenever that's happening, I try to gain some perspective, I think. This is not how shoulders work, but I'm gonna draw them that way anyway. And I think if I make this too angular, then the tired vibe that I was going for really diminishes because I'm trying to be like, this is not a substantial person. You could be whisked away at any moment because you are so sleepy. That's what sleepiness is to me. There's Fizz on a Stick saying, okay, my guy, W profile. Huh, huh. Like the profile picture of nobody's. I honestly, I thought I was going to change that to some original art a long time ago at this point, but I don't know, it brings joy. It brings joy. Alright, so let's get started on a little bit of the hair and also a little bit of the eyes. I only brought one Sharpie. I would prefer to go into this with more Sharpies, honestly. With my big Sharpie, with my favorite one. Alright, let's get an outline. Don't need any stabilizer in here because the control over what physical media is much better than my digitalness. Alright, so putting down the first of the lines. It's looking too thick, actually. Doing this makes me have the I huh live streaming lets me flip the canvas on physical media pretty instantly. Saying, is that a Sharpie? Not to be branded. Not to be totally branded out here. Yes, though. Absolutely. Does it not look like a Sharpie to you? Does it look different or out of the ordinary to you? Alright, so here we have a little bit of the eyes, a little bit of this, and oh, in drawing and gathering my thoughts, I remembered that I was going to try to set up an Instagram today because the people that I meet on college campus use that as a way to keep in touch. I have one under this same profile name. I'm Jaro on there as well, but I never posted anything. And I recommended a girl from my group project a restaurant as if there would be pictures of me in it. I don't take pictures of me in restaurants. I eat like a starving dog, and sometimes the restaurant is pretty and I eat like a starving dog. And I mean, it makes me really happy. It makes me happy to do that. They're saying, okay, so you're a millionaire, you don't know how to save money. You know there are cheaper and equally useful post-it notes than Sharpie. What? Wait, is the Sharpie not good? Wait, okay, hey, wait, are you shitting me here? No, we buy these in a bulk sort of a pack sort of a thing. We're writing on everything. I'm not just doing art supplies just for the hell of it. All right, we have a little bit of mapping out where I want to put the shading in here. I say mapping out and then I do it instantly. But that's another thing, drawing with markers on a post-it note. You you have to you have to not hit Control Z a bunch of times. That really honestly cuts into the amount of time it takes me to draw stuff. Hitting Control Z, second guessing, as opposed to just put a Sharpie in there. I feel like I'm not on track to draw the most tired mouth that I could. I feel like I'm getting to a place where I could draw a pretty tired mouth, but it should be more. I I I'm just reading at your message, looking at your message. Is it actually I the Sharpie at least struck me as very regular, as extremely regular. This thing, I was writing my brand rant and didn't fully hear what you said. Did you eat a starving dog? Stop with the accusations. Stop with the accusations. No, okay, so like on the first day of my first in-person class since being homeschooled and stuff, this girl got really excited when she heard a different classmate worked at a place that was potentially a cool brunch location. Nice to take pictures at, super cute and stuff like that. She got excited about that, and I never got to bring up a place that I had been that was not the same place. But you know, I can recommend things to people if I like that. And and then she asked for my Instagram, and so I was going to, I, and so like I was going to put a bunch of pictures in there last minute because I haven't ever done that, to like as if to pretend that I've had an Instagram for the entire time. But if you look at all of the dates, you can clearly see that I posted it all at the same time and then said, haha, hello. Yes, I'm a person who has Instagram and I didn't just populate all of it for one single day. Alright, so here is more of this, and you're gonna be made of right angles wherever you can. You're saying I have Instagram. I do, but even if I recommend a restaurant to somebody saying this is an Instagrammable restaurant place, I there's not proof that I that I did because there's nothing on it. There's nothing on the Instagram. Yeah. Okay. So today I'm going to appear so normal. You know. I think maybe I don't know. I've made a list of things to do today, and I haven't been very much at them. Saying Instagram shows the date of the post. Yes, yes, and so that's that could be kind of sweet, right? If that's my thought process, it's gonna be a little bit sweet or something like that. If I if I say, hey, here's my Instagram, and then this potential new friend or whoever the hell just sort of maybe notices that all of it is literally from the same day, which does not seem suspicious to me. If the it shows the join date, right? Shows when you joined. I and so that wouldn't seem like I'm a suspicious person who has just made an entirely separate Instagram just because. Okay, so here's this character made out of right angles. I say character when it was supposed to be some version of a self-portrait. And honestly, I'm learning a lot from the stylization. Saying it doesn't show the join date as far as I know. Well, now I'm going to look suspicious. I I had this feeling just now of very nearly almost clawing my way out of suspicion, out of out of out of not being very normal whatsoever, and now I'm back completely. All right, so the types of outfits a person can be wearing. I think I'm gonna put my new favorite shirt in here, black tank top kind of deal. I it brings joy. It brings joy in here, and I might as well figure out what the hair actually looks like. Okay, I think if I start by outlining all the parts I want to shine in here, that's going to be very simplistic and nice to look at. There's a Godzilla appearance saying the King of Monsters has arrived. I. Godzilla! Oh, my apologies that there's not a group draw going on right now, but just a traveling around ordinary draw. Huh, that does remind me. You put a magnificent sort of a Godzilla on the shrine I was making for YouTube user Technic, who is now here. You put one of those. You put one of those last stream. It turned out quite well, I think. And there's what's the latest? What's the latest news from a king of monsters? There's somebody saying, but how is that related to eating a starving dog? I did not eat a starving dog. I said I eat like I'm a starving dog, which is more of a, it's more like, okay, so there's a lot of idioms, there's a lot of metaphors, there's a lot of sayings where you can sort of compare yourself to an animal without being an animal, or also a furry, which I would not want to be bad representation or half-hearted representation of a furry. If I were a furry, I would want to go all in. I would want to slay. That should honestly probably be another one, another sort of self-portrait if I keep up this self-portrait business. Alright, so here's all of this, and we can go like a bunch of stripes, or I can fill it in. Yep, that's going to turn out very lovely to look at either way. Drawing with a Sharpie does help me chill out, honestly. There's I've been saved from the crime list, haven't I? I I eat like a starving dog, and that's a normal thing to say about yourself, even when you're not. Even when you're not a furry, I want to say, it's. It also very succinctly explains why there's no Instagram pictures of me at restaurants, because I take a picture of the food before I eat it, just in case I get hungry again. I can be happy remembering that there was a good food. So I do take pictures of my food. That horrible social media habit, you know? But I don't post them. I just get a notification from my. Did I mark on the pillow? Please don't record my crimes. Okay, I just get a notification from Google or whatever the hell, like a year later, being like, "Remember when you ate one thick French toast?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." There's Marcella saying, "Bro, it keeps deleting my messages." Oh, ugh. I can't even. It doesn't even let me see the deleted sort of messages. Wow, the unfairness, the censor indeed. I think because this Sharpie is soaking through the all of this a little more easily than it usually does. I think I should, instead of filling in the saying who are you drawing, by the way. I mean, I've to sort of tried to fit this into the series of of hyper stylized self portraits, something 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 like that. Now, however, I don't I don't know if it's coming across, because even though I've had hair like that in the past, it's it's I don't know. there's hello to my name is Ted. Hi to you. Apparently we're having a big censor of Godzilla in the chat, saying it keeps deleting the message I really want to say. Well, okay, one strategy is to um space out all the letters of suspect words. It doesn't and even when I try to allow words or allow people to say the words permanently, it's it's not very good. There, saying your lawyer son arrived. My goodness, hello Spawn, who is also a lawyer. There, saying why Godzilla, and yes I am. Alright, I want this to be filled out. I should honestly I should honestly There's Godzilla saying, "Hey, check out my YouTube post." Does it let me do that while I'm on the stream? Does it let me? Does it let me do that there? Um, huh. As if I open up the stream on another sort of thing, then does it go that way? Does it? Whoa, that's really weird. When I look at my own channel to try to view my own stream, it says this is happening 7 months ago. What? 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 What does that mean? They're saying, what are you drawing? Is supposed to be some sort of stylized art practice, some sort of stylized attempt at a um at a self-portrait kind of a thing, even though my hair isn't like that anymore. Alright, so here is this, a little bit of this, and like this. Okay, so man, every single time I try to create hair in several chunks like this, I can never decide where the best part to commit to a shiny part is. Okay, so put in more of that, more of this, and this. This saying unrealistic proportions. SMHGGGs, the forehead is basically non-existent. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. I okay, it is kind of killing me that in character design terms, the massive, immense forehead is usually used for either a little baby child or a um or an egghead. You're saying we're 6 BC. We're in a very modern 6 BC. Oh my. Oh my. Debate the timeline, will you? Here is more of shading, and we'll scribble that all together. And okay, with other Sharpies that I've used in the past, this is going to be my last concern, I want to say, as I'm creating a little bit of art out here in a very short sort of way. Okay, flip the canvas. How's that going? It's looked that way sometimes. But the way that I'm expressing myself isn't really working. They're saying, but I get the stylization is important, or else you would need at least 5 post-it notes to make it right. You're saying no forehead for no opinions. I, I'm not just high on Sharpie fumes. I'm not just, that's not all that's happening right now. I'm, it's all good in the neighborhood. There's saying check out my post on a not her device. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. I let's see if it gets in there. Okay, it's not letting me click on my own stream, which is 7 months ago. So if you leave a I know this is getting elaborate, but if you leave a comment somewhere If you leave a comment just on the channel somewhere, then I can click on your profile. Well, that's elaborate. Let's put a tiny mouth up in here. It's a good amount of detail, and my favorite you love getting high on Sharpie fumes. It shrinks the forehead. Okay, let's see. If I look up Doomzilla, may I see your posts? Doom, dare I say, Zilla, did the did the power just flicker for a moment? Okay, so there's Doomzilla YouTube and then Doomzilla 192. And then there's trying to look for one that matches your profile picture? Why is everyone why is why okay it's it's okay, it's making me scroll forever. I do feel perhaps lost. I do feel lost indeed. Okay. Is Doomzilla YouTube yours? I huh the more I know. Okay, so my favorite portraits in this series so far that I've done, series of art, has been the ones where I, let's see, the ones where the entire thing is filled in. Let's put random explosions in here as well. I think that's great. I think that's artistically extremely sound. Alright, so here's one, here's the other, outlining everything. And then we'll fill this in with shapes, and it's going to be very nicely surrounded by a pure block of darkness. Let's be surrounded by the darkness. Okay, goes like that, and then goes like this. Getting an outline so far. Very stylish, very stylized. And there's my name is dead saying, who doesn't feel lost in this day and age? Just ask Google Made. It will tell you where to go. Oh, I was sort of reading that as just ask Google and it will tell you where to go, but hey, maybe there is a Google Made out there. Alright. Adding a secondary explosion on the hip. I imagine this is how fashion designers talk. Alright, like this. And yeah, that's going pretty decently so far, even if it seems like there's a lot of Moss is saying this stream is extremely personal, so close POV, your kidnapper tied you to the bed and is showing you the drawing abilities. Perhaps, perhaps I can see such a thing. ah, it's, I will say, out of all the places I can be, out of all the ways I have tried to stream so far, it is pretty comfy. It's pretty darn comfortable up in here. Sometimes after the regular stream, my spine is all crunched. Well, I said that when I started adding these spikes, that it would be an explosion, but it's looking more like a lot of crystalline plants. I didn't mean to kidnap you. That's what you're saying. All I'm saying is, think less. Doesn't the Sharpie smell great? You're saying scoliosis is real. It's too real for sure. Is that a common descriptor among people with scoliosis? Describing the spine as crunched? Because it happens to me. Happens to me indeed. Okay, so Doomzilla 100. Space in between Doomzilla and 100. I'm seeing Jeez, okay, why? I'm seeing 192. Like that? Mm, Well, well, is your post like 22 hours ago? Okay, no space in it. There's. I'm so sorry. This is like brain surgery. Good God, I finally found you. Oh, okay. So you got posts, and you're saying, "This is my Godzilla art. It will look familiar to some people." Oh yeah. Hey, using the using the same colors as the arts from last stream, huh? Using the using the flair, using the style. That's looking good out here. Hello. Let's since I've finally found it. Let's see if that shows up on the. Please show up. It does sort of. Okay, if I angle it like this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, if I'm doing, what is that? Emotes from video games? Nice. Nice. You've got a most stylish Godzilla around here. Never give up. Never give up on the Godzilla. I it's looking pretty cool. They're saying you might be denying the snake allegations, but your spine isn't helping because it slithers independently of me. Wow. Wow. Rude. Okay. Let's draw some little triangles around here. It's going pretty decent. I think that if I just continue filling this in with a lot of shapes, that's not only going to be really, I don't know, fun to look at. Let's put another spiky shape over here. Maybe that's enough of it. As my name is dead saying, how do you accidentally kidnap someone you definitely purposely kidnapped us all with candy in the trunk? What kind of candy do you even like? If somebody would, if not that I'm doing anything, not that I'm planning anything, not that anything has been done, but how would someone even do this? And what kind of candy is good enough to do that? Not to ask questions that are too specific or anything. Yes. Like, as your child, I blame you for not teaching me stranger danger. Woo! You see, if a parent put you in a trunk versus a stranger put you in a trunk, that's not stranger danger, that's regular neglect. that's 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 just deeply unfortunate, I want to say. All right, draw a little bit of a line in there. Oh, that's the thing about Sharpies as I continue this art. Sometimes the details that I add they would look better if they were taken back. All right, so if I start filling all of this in, how exactly does it look on the other side of the paper? Because I'm really afraid that I'm going to ruin the sticky note behind this if I put too much ink in here. It has not happened so far, but the stuff looks better when it's filled in. So there's Godzilla saying, "When will you do the Magma Link?" Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm actually on phone right now. I'm actually on phone right now. I Yes, I'm doing the drawing like this because it's all the equipment I've got in this highly irregular stream. But it has been great saying hi to you, indeed. I think, I think with this much of a drawing in here, I'm basically just filling up the rest of the drawing. It's a very irregular stream. I do think I'll get out of here. Thank you guys for being around. Thanks for chatting. It's partially the Sharpie fumes headache. It is partially that. It is partially that. Thanks for chatting, guys. I'll be out of here then. I've actually never tried to end this on mobile. I've said I've okay. I've said goodbye, but this is a full minute of figuring out where it is. My name is Dead saying it's fine. They should be fearing me rather than teaching me stranger danger. You taught me how to get rid of corpses without getting caught. The lore is dark and varied. Okay, I think I think this button is by. Yes, yes, it was in fact. It was in fact. My God, I'm a million years old. Okay, bye.